Good afternoon, welcome to the OptionXE webinar. I'm Ben Newman. The date is the 27th of May, it's 14:24 Central European Summertime. Sorry for the slight delay there, just trying to get brokers set up. Unfortunately, I'm having to run with 3. I recommend if you've got 5, please do use them. I'm just going to check everything's working here, so running a little behind. I do apologise, make sure everything's working okay. So everyone can see and hear me. Hopefully, hi Vijaya. As always, you can interact with me via the text box here. And I'm going to get straight on because I'm a little bit behind and I want to capture US market opening, which there's not a lot going on today, in all honesty, but we managed to get very good results this morning. And sometimes when there's no major financial events as such, there is one big major financial event, but it won't be until the conclusion of those G7 meetings that really we've got things to go at. So for the moment, we haven't got a lot to go at, so we'll have a look, because certainly when London opened, we were able to take advantage of a gaining euro, and hopefully we can capture some kind of opportunity this time as well when New York opens. So just going to clear those signals as always. I've got a few of the pairs turned on, but I'm just going to go through, make sure they're all turned off. That's how we should start our trading session with no currency pairs turned on. We're not getting lots of confusing signals that we don't know what they mean. So that's the best way to start. If you just scroll through, make sure that everything is off. There we go. And that's going to give us the like a blank canvas really to start from. And I think that is the best point to start from. Then we can go through and methodically go through each of the trends and look for the opportunity. So, any questions throughout, please ask them on the chat box. I do appreciate the interaction. It benefits everyone if we're all receiving as much information as possible throughout these webinars. Up to you whether you replicate my trades, of course. I will try and attach whatever level of risk I see to the trades I'm placing, and I will go as slow as I can to go through the setup and everything else so that it's clear what I'm doing. As I say, if you've got 5 brokers available, have them open. Because that is going to give you greater flexibility of expiry times and even currency pairs at times. So do have them all available to you. I'm working with 3 just so we're avoiding any issues, any technical issues with the software or anything else, which we had a few issues prior to starting. So I'm going to crack on. So the Aussie US dollar showing no potential this morning, now showing a very strong US dollar. I'm going to turn that on, okay, just so we see what happens when the US market picks up. But I'm not going to place trades on that yet. It hasn't been too good to me, the Aussie US dollar pairing. And there we go. We've got the Euro GBP. The Euro was dominating earlier, and now the pound has been strong ever since. No real news coming through on the G7 meetings, so we're just going to go with the trends, see if we can pick up some opportunities. Now with this one, I'm going to go to H1 straight away, and this is too erratic really, but we can see that the pound is in a dominant position, but not really enough for us to place trades on. In fact, I'm just going to look it off because it doesn't look like a trend that I'm going to be interested in. Now the Euro JPY, now this is interesting because the Euro has been dominating this. If we have a look at an H1 chart, look how extreme the position of the Euro is against the JPY. So that one's definitely one we want to have a look at once the US market picks up, because this is heading down quite convincingly here. So this is definitely one that I think we've got potential trades on. And this is a counter trend because it's moving away from the direction it has been moving for some time. But it's well established, so we need to make sure that the yen carries on gaining. And then we've got the Euro USD, same story really. The Euro's been fairly dominant over the last, well, for some time really. We can see it's been going up. Now the US dollar picking up and taking this back down. So another one that I think potentially is very good to trade. So we have got, can anyone else see my screen? Could everyone just confirm they can see my trading screen? Okay, Wong, it is a problem at your end then. Okay, I'm going to go through the trades. So hopefully we can make sure that you're clear on what we're doing anyway. I haven't got to the point where, but it's definitely a problem your end, Wong, if you can't see both screens, okay? Now, just carrying on through, so this one I've turned the signals on for the Euro USD. Let's have a look at the GBP JPY. If it changes, because we're coming right up to, so I'm actually, with the Euro JPY, which I believe is giving us the best opportunity, I think, this is one I'm going to tee up for a trade, okay, because I think the yen will continue to dominate this. You can see it is going down. If it starts to dominate the US dollar as well, this is definitely one we can take advantage of. The US market just about to open, so we'll see what occurs at that point. So we're just going to keep an eye on it, and I'm going to tee this up so that we can have a spread trade, Euro JPY spread trade here. It's giving us 12.45, but I'm not really interested in that. You can see the euro really picking up the pace. The yen really picking up the pace against the euro now. And I suppose this was bound to happen, but it's just whether there's any effect after the New York market opens, which is right now. So let's see what happens with that. I'm going to change this to a euro US dollar trend. I'm going to look at M1 to see whether the dollar does indeed pick up. It certainly looks like it's going. It is going that way. So look at the USD JPY and see whether this is continuing up. Well, not yet. So we'll just hold fire. We just want to see what happens with these before we decide to place any trades. But I think the yen will carry on down on this trend, but we just want to see what effect. It looks like the dollar's very weak. We're just going to keep an eye on it and see how it acts now. And indeed, this is carrying on down. So I'm going to get these trades placed in favour of the yen. All right, I think the euro has dominated for a long time, so we're going to get this placed. If you've got 5 brokers available and you're replicating my trades, then do so across all of your brokers. Okay, it was a good opportunity. It's worth spreading the opportunity across the brokers. So let's have a look at that. And it's just held up a little bit, but I think overall this yen is going to carry on dominating. So we can see it's continuing on down. There we go. So we've got 3 trades placed. This one will come into the green in a minute. So euro just picking up a bit. Let's have a look at this M1 chart on the USD JPY. I just want to see what's happening with this. Okay, it's got stuck, and that's fairly typical of a market opening. And we're seeing the euro just come back at the yen a little bit, but I think this will be short-lived, because what we're not seeing is the same pattern here. The US dollar is holding strength here, so what we want to see really is the yen continue to dominate the US dollar, and it hasn't gone up, which is a good sign. So we'll just see if that starts coming down. We've got plenty of time on it. As I say, that's one of the main reasons we put a greater amount of time on our trades, is to make sure that we are giving the trade enough time to achieve the position we need it to when it expires. To run on then, I'm just going to have a look at the Aussie US dollar. As you can see here, just confirm that you can see me as well. I keep losing my camera keeps coming up like it's cut off, so please let me know if there's any issue with. Right, so this has changed now. We can see that the US dollar has not really picked up against the yen. Thanks, Raphael. And there we go. It's changed direction now, so the yen should carry on down. I think we're going to start seeing this become fairly dominant. In fact, because we've captured this this movement in the yen just before it's happened. So you can see now that the yen driving this trend down absolutely convincingly. Look at the direction that's changed now, and it's even doing that against the dollar. So we've got some very good trends to go out there. The yen looking very strong indeed. You can see here that even though the US market is now open, the yen's really dominating that. So I'm going to leave the signals on, and we'll probably get signals confirming that that our trades were correct, and you know how we gauge that, or the signals coming in. And basically, if we predicted these trades correctly, then we will then get signals that confirm that movement for us. And the best time to do it, obviously, is before the the movement occurs, so we need to forecast it or predict it, which we've done very accurately this time. As we did this morning, the euro was a good bet this morning. It's changed direction now, so we're using the counter movement to take advantage of the weakening euro now. So good positive trades. They should continue like that based on the fact that the euro has been very strong. Our charts on the on Optionbot not changing at the moment. Can anyone else confirm whether they're struggling to get the charts to change on Optionbot, or is it a problem my end? I'd like to know. Get it. No issues, right? Okay. Just going to change a different one. Right. Okay. It's fairly typical, once the market opens, it's fairly typical for that to happen. So what I'm going to do is have a look at the Euro GBP, because I think probably the Euro GBP is going to be following a similar move. There it goes. So this is where I'm going to place my other trade. I'm going to follow the pound in its counter movement as well. So let's get those placed, and then we're going to have a few trades that I think are in good shape for us. So we're following the weakness really, or we're going against the euro. So we're taking advantage of this weakness now in the euro that's been very strong for some time now. So Euro GBP, we'll look at that, continuing on down. So there we go. So as I've said before, obviously I've only got 3 brokers available. If you've got 5, make sure you take advantage of all 5 if they'll offer the expiry time that you want. So we can see now that the strengthening yen against the euro and the strengthening pound against the euro as well, putting all of these in a very strong position. So good movement here, really taking advantage of this weakening euro. So has anyone, okay, perfect. Has anyone managed to replicate the trades? Matt, I'm assuming you have. So obviously these will bounce around a bit, but overall I think the euro is going to continue to weaken, which is what we're taking advantage of here. Let's see if we can go back to our charts. So yeah, it's now on the Aussie US dollar. Let's see if we can change that to have a look. It does certainly look like the US dollar's it's getting stronger against the Aussie, and that often, look at that, that's a very good movement. So that may be providing us some more opportunities. But we'll just have to wait and see. Now that I've not traded with the US dollar at the moment, these have moved back a little, but I think overall the euro is going to continue to get stronger. So what I'm going to do while that's happening is go through and see if I can identify some opportunities with the US dollar. This is taking such a long time to change. Very frustrating when we're trying to go through and make trades. It's just one of the side effects of trading around market opening time. So I'm just going to have a look at the Euro USD, probably one worth looking at, just to see how that's acting. The euro has picked up against the US dollar momentarily, but I think the US dollar will start to take control of that as well, as will the other ones. So you see they've bounced up, and now they're diving back down again, which is what I expect to continue. There'll be quite a lot of fluctuation, but overall, euro, I believe, will be the weaker, and therefore see our trades into good results. So I'm bouncing around a lot now, but we're just going to have a look, see if we can gauge what's going on with this US dollar trend. So the US dollar really going, the GBP USD is doing the same thing. Indeed, it is now. We're nearly 10 minutes into New York opening, and really what I want to do is check this on a. I want to check this on the Optionbot chart, but it's going very slow indeed, unfortunately. Bit of a pain. So there we go. We can see that all our trades are there or thereabouts, and we can see how dominant the euro, how weak the euro is becoming now, and it's pulling all of these down into the green. The yen really strong against the euro now, as we can see. It's really given us quite quite a distance between where we place the trade, and it's exactly what we're looking to do, is get as much distance between the point that we place the trade and where we are now. And then if it levels out or even comes back a little bit, it's not going to affect the result of our trade. So that's exactly what we're looking to do. And as you can see, we've timed this pretty well, because as the euro weakens, we get the trade, and therefore it puts our trades in a much surer position to come in. So this GBP USD now, I'm just going to have a closer look at this, because this is, I think, well, there you can see on an M1 it actually hasn't come down as sharply as it has been overall, but yeah, so the US dollar has been very dominant throughout, but is that set to continue? Very hard to tell, and at the moment I'm happy with the trades I've got, and we see that it's been level and the pound's just come back a little bit, so it's not really something that I want to trade at the moment, although looking at that chart, it's only going in one direction there, but nevertheless I think at the moment it's probably just worth holding fire. I've got a few good trades placed. This Euro USD trend looks very good, and we know that the Euro is getting weaker now, so this could be a better one indeed. Look at that, we look at M5 and we look at M1, and we can see quite clearly that this is we can see quite clearly which direction this is heading in, and that Euro USD is definitely a good one to look at. Let's see if we can get a trade placed on that, because I think this euro is going to continue to weaken. We're now 10 minutes into market opening. Now, I'm very often of the mind, as anyone that watches me regularly know, is trying to place too many trades, and in fact, no, it hasn't, it's still offering it to us. There we go. Trying to place too many trades can result in disaster, but this euro really does look very weak now, and we look like we've got an established US dollar against it. So this is what I'm taking full advantage of now, Euro USD here, and we're just following this weakening of the euro, which has been strong for sometimes days against the euro, against the yen. So the euro really, it's overdue for this to weaken a bit. Now the trades we've just placed, obviously they're that's the Euro USD in favour of the USD. We can see here it's obviously in a much less advanced position to our other trades. So we've already captured the advantage from these and got these into a position where they're pretty safe. So what we're now using is the US dollar's gain against the euro as well, and we're following that as well. Obviously they've just been placed, so we'll just see. Yeah, so definitely on the way down, but it will fluctuate around a bit, and we just need the euro to really weaken a bit more. But they're all following a very similar pattern, which suggests that it's the euro weakening that is causing this. Spiked up a little bit there, but nothing overall to worry too much about, I don't think. So you can see all of these three, all of them in the money, very good indeed. So if I can ask, which trades have you replicated? Anyone? Have you managed to replicate them all? We've got 9 trades placed in total. Okay, and as we can see from looking at this, the euro just does continue overall to weaken, which is putting us in a very good position indeed. All right, we've got some way to go. So, but we have managed to capture quite a large movement after the trades were placed, which puts us in a really strong position. That's exactly what you want to be doing. Okay. All right. Perfect. So we will see some movement of fluctuating band. It's actually torturous to watch this sometimes, because you see it moving around to such an extent that it becomes painful to watch. But while the euro continues to weaken, which certainly it looks like it's going to, we're in a very good position. There we go, so we can see all of these in the green now. So good, it should turn out to be a good day today. I'm just going to go back, change this back to M15 and see if we get some signals from this now. Check my ticker is running. There we go, so that populates okay. So we should start getting some signals from this. Not that it matters now, we place these without the signals, but what I like to know is that if we start getting signals confirming the movement that we followed, That gives me a sense of comfort, let's say. It makes me feel a bit more confident with the trades I've placed. That's always a nice thing. That stops me worrying too much about them. And then we can leave them and carry on. Absolutely, Vijay. Satisfaction that we've got it right, and that's how the signals in my eyes should be used. So it confirms our analysis, and we know that we're doing something right. So you're absolutely right on that, Vijay. So has anyone got any questions at this stage? Anyone want to ask me anything? Anyone that was with me this morning will know we had a good start to the day, well over $300 profit, and we look like we're going to have a good second after that. We look at M1 here and just look how extreme this movement is now, dominating US dollar against the euro, and that will be the same picture, Euro JPY. Have a look, that's even more extreme. If we look at M1, it's really coming down a lot now, and the Euro GBP, which isn't turned on at the moment, but we can see here again a very dominating pound against the euro. Not so much so actually, but that doesn't surprise me because both of these markets are open. But we can see overall that these trends are continuing to drop, and that puts us in a very nice position. So if we finish today with all of these coming in, we'll be looking at somewhere in the, well, it'll be a good day. We'll be looking at well over $700 profit there or thereabouts, $720, something like that. So that would be an excellent day for us. And this just demonstrates that you don't have to go mad. You don't have to play loads of trades. You don't have to place massive amounts on your trades. You just have to spread the risk, be disciplined, stick with the trades that you've placed. That's really important. Don't go jumping around and get too excited and try and place more and more. That is a recipe for disaster. No, in total, so over 300 this morning, and if these all come off, we're looking at, let me just calculate that again. Yeah, so around $700 profit. Yeah, from both webinars, so not bad at all. And then, I can give you the example that if we just see that on 10 of the trading days that are available in a month, just 10 of them, then that's 7,000 profit for the month, and that's just on half the trading days, trading a lot less, an hour and a half, only, sort of less than 2 hours. These webinars last a lot less than an hour. We come in, we make the analysis, we place the trades, and we get out there with the result, hopefully. They're not always going to be good results, but that's trading. If we can do this the vast majority of the time, then we're seeing very good profit, as you can all see. All right, so that's what we're working towards, and hopefully all of us can benefit from these results, which is exactly what we want to do. It's the whole purpose of our training and our webinars. So look at this Euro GBP here. Let's have a look at the Euro USD, because it looks like it's come back a little bit on M1. Yeah, so the euro just come back a little bit, but I don't see anything to get overly concerned about at this stage. Euro JPY, let's have a look. Yeah, it's just come back a bit on this as well, but again, nothing really to get too worried about. And the Euro GBP, well, in fact, it has on this as well. So just a slight movement back by the euro, but overall very strong. And in fact, we're getting a signal telling us it's going in the other direction now. But as I say, I'm not overly concerned, because I think overall the euro is going to be getting weaker. We're just going to go and have a look and see whether we've got any news on that. Fortunately, we took advantage of such a big movement after we placed these trades that they're all still looking fairly good for us. And as long as this doesn't sustain this movement, which I don't think it will because of how weak the euro is now, then they're all going to be okay for us. So what I'm going to do is just go to and see if there's any results on the G7 meeting. Let's have a look. So yeah, so a lot of it's to do with the Greek crisis. I'm just going to have a look at this, because I think I'm going to, well, G7's problem, can the world deal with the Greek default, and that's the main issue. and this really is why the euro is so weak today. Okay, you know, the statement is that when the world's top finance ministers and central bank chiefs meet in Dresden this week, they may struggle to stick to an agenda set by their German host that doesn't mention Greece. So the point is that it's kind of like an elephant in the room still, and it has been such a concern for the Eurozone as a whole, Greece, that really is proving very detrimental to the Eurozone economy, as we can see from this movement. But let's not complain about that. The point is that it's providing very good opportunity for us to trade, and this is how we have to connect the news, what's happening in the markets, really, the things that affect the trades, and placing the trades themselves. And if we do that, we're going to be in a much stronger position with our trades always. You know, if we start connecting these events with the way we place the trades, that is what's going to give us the results, and that's what I focus my the training programs are focused around, identifying key financial events to trade around and understanding what impact they have and using that impact to our advantage. And if we can do that consistently, we're going to get very good results. And it isn't difficult to make very significant profit if we're very disciplined and we're connecting the event with the impact that it has. So we can do that, then we will start to build a much more predictable way to trade, and that will result in a much better consistency of success. Okay, so anyone that knows you know, the way I trade and the way I teach people to trade, that is definitely the most effective way. If we understand nothing about the market or why the trend is doing what it's doing, it's very difficult to predict what it's likely to do. So we have to take these things into account. Otherwise, there's a lot of guesswork involved, and sometimes that can work for you, but it isn't a way to build a consistent success rate, certainly. And as you can see here, just going back to our trades, they're all still looking good. The euro just coming back against the US dollar a bit, but you've got to remember that we've placed this in a much later point, which means that we've got less of this movement to cushion us. Nevertheless, they're still looking very good. We've got 9 minutes of these trades left, and they're still all looking extremely good indeed. So I'm not overly concerned. And reading that news, I think there's only one way the euro can continue going, and that's down, unfortunately, for the euro, but fortunately for us, because that's what we're relying on these trades. So that's good. The G7 meetings, let's just see if there's any more headlines on that. Yeah, so saying that the Greece is likely to miss the deal deadline. That's a May deadline, that they had to produce an agenda really to get their economy back to speed, so that they would be lent the further money by the German government. But it does look like they're going to miss that May deadline, which will result in them not being given that bailout, that second bailout. So this is what's causing the plummet in the euro today, and this is what we're hearing from the G7 meeting. So really interesting stuff. But what I recommend is taking full advantage of that, because while we know that these euro talks are the effect they're having on the euro, we can place very reliable trades based on those. So that's what we want to take advantage of. We'll look at this Euro JPY, still driving this trend down. It flattened a little bit, and then we can have a look at the Euro USD. We can see it's got signals telling us it's strengthened a bit, but it really hasn't overall. This is a blip in it, and we can see it's kind of flattened out a bit, but nothing that's going to affect our trades. Even if it flattens out, that's no issue for us. Our trade is still going to come in. So has anyone got any questions regarding what I've just gone through and how I've just explained in more detail than I usually do, the reason why we're placing the trades we're placing today? We've got a very key financial event, and when that news is released, this is the impact that it has, and if we can capture that impact and take advantage of it, obviously it's going to pay us very well indeed. So that's what we're doing. So, but very often I haven't got the time to go through all of that. So, you know, I know some of you appreciate me going into a bit more detail, and obviously some of that's reserved. A lot of it that is usually exclusively to training clients and so on. But I think, you know, we know as a company that if you're getting good results from our webinars, that's going to lead on to you, you know, wanting to take more of these webinars and recommend us to other people. And you know, it's one of those things, if people know this works and then there is a way to make money from it, a reliable way, you know, an honest way, then more people will be interested. And we're, you know, we know we're the only people going in this direction in the industry. That puts us in a good position, but obviously only if you're getting the results as well. So that's what this is completely based around. So you can see here, all of them in the green still, very strong position for all of our trades still. This one very close to the mark, but not overly worried. There we go. So here we go, the euro again dropping, and as we can see, this is going to be a very good book for us today. So so that's good. So who's managed to get the results from this? If anyone could respond and just let me know how your trades are doing. Have you all managed to place spread trades with these various different euro currencies, euro pairings, should I say? All in the money, that's perfect, Vijay. I'm really glad about that. Brilliant. Okay, good stuff. So, and can I get some feedback? I mean, you don't have to tell me, but what sort of amounts do you put on these trades? Do you replicate the amounts? It is entirely up to you. You know, it's one thing I never influence is the amounts that you place on the trades. I generally stick to $50. Brilliant, good stuff, Matt. Okay, James. Yeah, look, it is your choice. That, as I say, we don't get anything from depending on what you trade. A lot of the brokers do profit from that, but we don't. So that's pretty good. But yeah, I find that $50 trades, if I'm placing an average of $50 trades, then the profit can get to well over 10,000 a month pretty quickly, you know, without putting too much work in. And if you have a few good days, you can make half of that in a couple of days, and it's very possible to do that. So we just have to be disciplined and pick the right moments to do that. We don't want to get carried away. We just make sure that we're on hand to find the right times, taking advantage of those. Yeah, well, Raphael, it is your choice. Okay, I don't want to have any influence over that. I was just wondering, because obviously all the profit figures that I give are based on the amounts that I trade with, which more often than not is $50. Unless we're doing a live trading event where we use significantly more to generate a bigger profit in a short space of time. Obviously, all of these things that we do carry higher risk. If you stick to the same sort of method, the same amount to place on your trades, and just build it at your own comfort zone, you know. Good. Well, thanks, Raphael. I appreciate that. So yeah, we've had a good day today. We're just going to come in. We've got another few minutes before they do, just under 2 minutes, but looking very good indeed. So unless we get a freak movement, which doesn't look likely based on the news I'm reading from the G7 meetings, then we're going to be in an excellent position for the day here on our webinar. So if anyone wants to continue following the euro, do it with caution. Remember that the meetings in Dresden, which obviously in European time won't finish too late. The results of those meetings, at the moment, I've got to be honest, it looks like the euro is going to continue to drop. But you know, if there's another press release regarding something else, then you know, that could overshadow what we're seeing at the moment. It doesn't look likely at the moment, I've got to be honest though. So yeah, so that's a good result for today. So yeah, we're looking at, I've placed, so just do a quick calculation. So I've placed 9 trades here plus 8 this morning. And let's look at the concern. Some of my brokers are in different currencies, but we're looking at over $700 profit. So all 5 brokers, 15 trades in total. So you've got an even larger profit margin. So you're looking at, well, so you're looking at $600 odd just from these trades, Vijay, is that right? Yeah, all right. Never speak too soon. I don't want to curse it, but yeah, that's a good result. So these just picking up a little bit now. We've got a minute left. It's getting tense because these are moving up, but let's just see. I don't think it's going to be enough to concern us. Just have a look at the charts here, and on M1 we've got. Yeah, so the euro is picking up a little bit, but I think we're going to be all right. We've got another 30 seconds to go. Get very tense with these. Let's hope they stay in the money. They can get very tense. And one of them's dropped out of the money. Let's just hope they don't all do this. And it typically is the one that I place last, and often that's why we... this can get very tense indeed, as I know your hearts will be in your mouth. There we go. So they're in. They're in. So all of these trades are in. Vijaya, hopefully you can get a confirmation that all yours are in as well. I would be heartbroken for you if they weren't. But brilliant. Okay, excellent result. Really glad about that. It's been a good day, and hope you've all. Yeah, brilliant, Raphael. No problem, no problem. My pleasure. It really is my pleasure. You know, when we all get good results, it's fantastic to see it, and it's what these webinars are all about. So, what I'm going to do is just make sure everyone can see those results here. You know, I don't like to conceal anything, and as such, I'm just going to go through and just show you the results we've got for today. So let's just have a look here. 27th, and on our last broker 27th as well. So let's just show you our results for today. There we go. That just shows on cherry trades we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successful trades for the day. On Porter Finance we've got 5 successful trades for the day, and on UK options, there you go, 5 successful trades. So an excellent day. We've had a very good day today. If you're going to continue to follow the euro, do it with caution. Don't undo what you've done. All right, I want everyone to stay in profit, but certainly for our webinars, we've had an excellent result. So thanks for joining me. We'll be back tomorrow, and have a great rest of your day. I'm sure you will.